What up? It's your boy, the Incredible Man. And yes, I'm back at it again. And this is Fire Force, Episode 7, discussion/review. And before I even start, man, we gotta admit, man, this episode was a banger. It was a little slow in the very beginning, but not in a bad way. Like, it was just more informative than anything. And that's what pretty much every episode was this today, man. Dr. Stone and Danmachi, man. And I have no problems with all of these, man, having a little bit more information, man. I love getting the information about the world and getting more, because I'm not a manga reader, so getting all of this stuff in this episode is totally fine with me, and I understand it, so I'm okay with it. Plus, we got a good little bit of action towards the end of this episode, so I'm totally cool with that, man. It was just more very informative than anything, and the animation was on point, and those action sequences were spot on, man. So huge shout out to Fire Force for that, man. So let's talk about this episode. Okay, it picked up right after last week's episode, and we were getting more information about Company 5 and Company 8, but it started where we seen the captain of Company 1 and some of his members, and they were discussing the recent fight between Company 8 and the 5th Company, and they were like, what did they say? Oh, it was like, so Captain Obi is making his move. So I'm assuming everyone pretty much knows what Obi was sent there to do and what his role is against the rest of the fire companies. So I'm pretty sure everyone is kind of watching out for him and watching out what he's going to do. And seeing as to what he done with the 5th Company, everybody's kind of going to be on more of a higher alert status now that this has happened. But if that's the case, okay, no, I don't want to ramble and I don't want to go off. So, what else happened? Oh, then they show us, we pan back and we end up seeing the 5th Company and the 8th Company, and they're having like a little barbecue grill cookout type thing, which was nice. That was nice. I love seeing stuff like that because it just expands on the characters. And they use that as a cover up for their whole fight. It was just the whole thing was just a training exercise. So that was a nice cover. I mean, nobody's buying it. Like, none of the higher ups and none of the other companies are buying it. But like, for the people will buy it. And so that was nice. And we got to see a whole bunch of members from each company just having a good time. We saw Maki playing with fire and Arthur executing it. The lieutenant told me if you was to play with fire, I was to execute them. And she was showing off her powers to the angel girls from the 5th Company. We saw the lieutenant out there grilling like a grill master, cooking the meat perfectly. We saw the mascots burning meat and setting fires. We saw a lot of there was a lot of entertaining stuff that happened this episode at the very beginning. It was more so just a fun-filled, lighthearted episode to deal with everything that happened last week, because last episode was action-packed. So this was kind of a nice mellowed out episode to calm you down from such greatness of last week. But then we get to talking. Well, before I do that, we see Princess Hibana feeding Shinra like pieces of meat and having her flunky fan them and keep them covered. So that was nice. So we finally understand that she's really falling for Shinra because he saved her. Then we see her and Captain Obi talking about everything that's pretty much done went down, and we come to find out that someone is literally turning people into infernals. Like, some are human combustion, but some people are actually turning people into infernals. And we learn from Princess Hibana that this actually takes place within the region of the 1st Company. So then we pan into the office part, and we see Princess Hibana, Arthur, Shinra, the lieutenant, and Captain Obi, and they were discussing as sending Shinra and Arthur in to Company 1 as cover-ups to find out anything they can find out about who is turning people into infernals. And Princess Hibana told them that, that's a great plan, but we can't just have you guys go. So I know some friends from another company, and I'll send one of my guys as part of this infiltration squad as well. So that was nice, and we got introduced to another character. Dude seems a little wimpy, but his power seems so cool. So then we go and we get introduced to those characters, and then we go and meet the first company, which is Leonard Burns. Dude's name is just fantastic, man. That dude is absolute beast. Leonard Burns. How cool is that? And he's a third generation power kinetic. Then we got Foylin. I don't think we met that one. Hold on. Okay, so we got Karim Flam, Reika Hoshimiya, and we got who else this is? Foyin Lee. Either way, those were the three people that we met. Besides Tamaki, we met her at the rookie games, and that's all the people. I think that's everyone we met. So we get introduced to those, and right off the bat, Shinra has questions for for Leonard Burns, because Leonard saved him when he was a kid, but he was too late to save his mother and his brother. So Shinra was like, well, if we beat you, would you like to test my abilities? And if we beat you, I have a question that I want to ask you. So that you guys knew that was going to lead to a fight sequence, and it was a bomb fight sequence. Much didn't happen in the whole fight sequence, like as a whole, but it was very nice. The parts that we got to see. I can't remember the new dude's name. Oh man, I can't remember. Anyway, we got to see all three of the other guys from Company 1, and we got to see them take on some of the other guys. Well, they took on the real big dude that was like he's scared of his own powers, but his powers were so cool. Like he created like flammable rocket prototypes or something, and they just shot out at the person. And we had introduced to the other guy that just like shut that down with like a trombone or something that takes in fire and sound and turns it into ice. This is so cool. I understand why people love Fire Force, man. I mean, I've been a fan ever since episode 1, but stuff like this only deepens and keeps going with all of the love that you have for the show, man, because it keeps bringing and incorporating such different stuff that you're not used to. There was no way that you would have thought that they had an instrument that converts sound in flames into ice. That is so cool, man. Then that happens, and the other dude that comes from Company 5 decided not to do anything. The other dude came from Company 2. But the dude that came from Company 5 with the pop bubbles and the fire like that decided not to fight. And then we see Arthur and Shinra getting ready to take on Leonard Burns, which was fantastic. Arthur came in and was like, no, I got it. And, dude, he stopped Arthur's plasma sword with his hand. Like, and then he, like, just, like, pinched it and flicked it and, like, boom, that's it. How beast is this, man? Dude didn't even use his flames. He done all of this with brute force. How bomb is that, man? Then we get to see Shinra coming in like a straight boss. Dude, Shinra came in and was going ham, man. He was like, every time he came in with like his flame from his feet, like they showed a picture of some lights that was just shaking every time from the force that he was bringing, and every time it was just rocking those lights. But Leonard Burns shut him down too, man. Like, but Shinra came in with that super like white Nova type flame kick, and the only thing it did was burn his shirt. Dude, it done nothing else, and like he just stomped. I'm stomping like you guys can see, and he stomped, and like the force kicked Shinra back, man. So I'm super excited to see more about Leonard Burns. I just want to know how strong is he exactly, because dude is beast, man, and his character design, fantastic. And then we see that the one dude from Company 1 that was bashing them for coming and was like, well, you guys are nothing but crap. He kind of gave Shinra and Arthur props for taking on the captain and kind of holding their own a little bit. Like, they couldn't beat him, but they stood their ground, and he gave them props for that, man. But that's all that happened this episode. Too much didn't happen. But it's like I said, it was still a good, very good episode, and the end was absolutely fantastic. This is your boy, Dick Incredible, man. Don't forget to smash that like button till you can't smash it anymore. Comment down below, and I'll be sure to respond to each and every one of them, and subscribe. But only if you really want to, man. And remember that anime matters, anime is greatness, and anime is life, man. Peace out.